Wow, that just brought it home exactly how many years ago it was. The bar that we basically lived in after work, Calibri Bar, Sam's place. This is it now. The Rainbow Bar, that's still open. So a beer in the Rainbow for the first time in 30 years. So the Rainbow Bar, still playing exactly the same music. This is weird to not only have the visuals, but the soundtrack of then is yeah, it's quite emotional. I thought this would be a kind of happy sort of memory. I don't know what I was expecting really, but it does make you think, or it makes me think about the last 30 years since leaving here. And I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. I mean, it certainly made me really emotional this morning, and I didn't expect it to at all. I didn't expect it to hit me like this. Apparently the Electra Palace now is all inclusive, so all of the bars and restaurants along this strip just closed apart from the Rainbow because nobody needs to use them. And I've had some really good compliments from Sakis about the year that we were here. No, gone again, sorry. Well, this is really strange. I didn't expect to feel like this. I was expecting just to come back and be, let's take a photograph of this, a kind of memory lane kind of thing. It's so familiar. Yeah, it's quite emotional. Okay, so we're going in. I've been told by a couple that actually saw the shows back in '95 and have lived here ever since, that I should expect some pretty significant changes now that it's all inclusive.
One night Farmer Brown was taking the air, locked up the barn with the greatest of care. Into the hen house something stirred when he hollered, "Who's there?" This is what he heard: "There ain't nobody here but us chickens. Ain't nobody here at all. So quiet yourself, stop all that fuss. There ain't nobody here but us." And kindly point that gun the other way, and hobble, hobble, hobble up and hit the hay, 'cause there ain't nobody here but us chickens. Ain't nobody here at all. You stomping around, shaking the ground, kicking up an awful dust. We chickens trying to sleep and you buttin', and hobble, 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 hobble with your chin, 'cause tomorrow is a busy day. We got things to do.
That was so weird. Nico and Flora that had the shop are still there, and I had to come out. I absolutely filled up. What they've done with the back area that's absolutely unrecognisable, but certainly the area where the indoor stage was is still really familiar. Walking out onto the sort of pathway here is absolutely familiar. It just feels like 5 minutes ago. Where the hell did 30 years go? Well, now that I've got the bike, it gives me the chance to come to Palermo again. What a beautiful, beautiful place. Absolute silence. Just on the way to the Acropolis now, and there's just nobody here. It's perfect. forgot about the peacocks up here. Gorgeous. Just such an amazing place. You won't get the sense of this on video at all. But this is the viewpoint from Rhodes. Unbelievable. And this is the Byzantine, I suppose Byzantium fort of Rhodes, and next to that is the Acropolis, which I hope they have. I can't believe that they wouldn't have preserved it. But the views up here are incredible, and there's nobody here. Well, here's my little friend that took me all around the mountains in the dark tonight. Lost for bloody hours. No signal. In the dark. No idea where I was going. And eventually my nose got me here. This thing is an absolute beast. It's only a 1-2-5 twist and go, but when it says go, it absolutely bloody goes. So today I went to Rhodes on her, and tomorrow is Faliraki and Lindos. Reliving my youth a little bit here now. But yeah, goes like stink. Really, really good bike. Is it okay? Is that better? Enjoying your food? Calispera. You're not even vaguely interested, are you? Because you're eating. Mia coma che fevro. One more and then I'm going. Well, welcome to another day. It's Monday. So I've still got a few, well, still here till Thursday. Don't fly out till Thursday night. So today's the last day with the bike. So I want to take advantage of it really and go down to Monolithos this morning and then across to the Faliraki and Lindos side. I've got to drop the bike back again by 7 o'clock this evening. So that's back over in Ialisos, which will be nice because if I drop that back at 7 o'clock, it means I've got a really nice wander around sort of sunset time around the top of the island back to here again. So another sort of 3-hour wander but I won't have the bike. I can stop wherever I want to stop and just make a really relaxing evening walk of it. I've actually chosen a really good route, I think, which is right up over the top of the island and down the other side. So it's through all of the smaller villages. So I'm hoping the scenery up there is going to be brilliant, and that the roads aren't going to be too busy. And just drift my way across. It's saying an hour and 50 to get across there. So yeah, we'll see how we do this morning, but that'll be quite a nice drift out on the bike. I'm about halfway over the island at the moment, and I've taken a little stop in Synthos, because as I was coming up over the top of the mountains, it started to rain, and I don't really fancy being on these roads in the rain, particularly as they get to really greasy after it's been sunny. So I'm not sure that I'm going to make Monolithos. It feels a little bit like I'm sort of swimming the channel. Don't think I can get there when I get halfway, so it's a good idea to turn around and swim back again. But I think if I can get over to the more sheltered side of the island, down around the beaches of sort of Calympia and Archangelos and that sort of area, then there's going to be less risk of the rain. But just the roads are bigger, and I've really enjoyed doing the mountain roads. So a little bit of a quandary at the moment. I can either keep on going to another couple of little villages and then maybe drop back down to the beach, or just go down through Archipelago to Calympia. But that goes down past Butterfly Valley and Seven Springs and all that kind of stuff. So there's going to be a load of tourist bikes and cars down that road. So I'm going to find a little track somewhere, and yeah, get myself back over onto the eastern side of the island, the sort of more sheltered side, and less likelihood of rain, I think. Not particularly interesting, just my thoughts. Hello, gorgeous. And you? Well, for once, I made a very sensible decision there. Just got into Afandu, which is a coastal beach town just south of Faliraki. And it's really, really hot. But when it does rain, when the showers do come, they're bloody heavy for a couple of minutes. So just rode through one on the way down through from Synthos. And it just makes the ride a little bit nervy. So I'm in Afandu now. I think I'll make my way up to Faliraki and have a spot of lunch at Faliraki, and then probably come back down to Calympia Beach, because that's got a straight road then that goes back across to Ialissos, and it takes you through Seven Springs and Butterfly Valley. So it's actually quite a nice little run. I'll do a little TripAdvisor bit on Afandu actually, because it's got a really nice beach, but actually it's not the most attractive of towns. It's just south of Faliraki and north of Archangelos and Calympia. So it's a good enough place from the point of view of, obviously it's got loads of restaurants, and it is a really kind of recognisable town rather than a little village really. The town itself is a little bit of a stroll from the beach. But to be fair, Calympia is more attractive. It's a little bit further away from Faliraki as well, so you're not around all the idiots. And also you've got Archangelos, which is the sort of next beach down from there, which is very much more villagey. And although you've got a bit of a wander down to the beach if you're actually staying in the village, that's a really nice quiet area. But anyway, here's Afandu. Okay, it's time to hit the hellhole that is Faliraki. Let's see what's changed. Not much, I would imagine, but I've got to go and have a look. You can't whack it really, can you? Unrecognisable from years ago, but it's still a beautiful bay. It's Calafia Springs. There's going to be an awful lot more incredibly boring filming of this, but Rhodes town at night is still phenomenal. But look at this, 4 cruise ships in at the moment, nobody on the streets. Why? Because they dumped them off for 4.5 hours to go and buy a load of shit and then brought them back on board so that they didn't need to go to a restaurant or a bar because everything was all inclusive on the ship. God, what a grump I am, but very true. Well, I haven't really got any plans for today at all. I'm going to make it a do-nothing day. Just a nice slow wander up into the village, because I haven't really had a proper look around Koskino. I've been in the square and had my coffee and sandwich and bits and pieces in the morning, but I haven't had a proper look around the village itself. Obviously gave the bike back last night. That was a great experience. I would really highly recommend that if anybody's comfortable riding kind of 125 bike. Those twist and go things are damn powerful, and it covered a load of ground around the island, which obviously I couldn't film because that would not have been practical. But now that I've given her back, I'm back on foot, and yeah, looking forward to a day of just drifting around and doing bugger all, because every other day so far really has had I've had a bit of a plan in my head as to what I'm going to do, or one thing that I might want to do during the day. It's Tuesday now. I fly back home Thursday evening. Today was going to be the day to post me pants, but they don't, by the looks of it, they don't really have post offices here anymore. They've got that sort of big centres that you've got to go into Rhodes for to post parcels. So I'm just going to have to be a little bit harsh with what I leave behind and what I pack. But other than that, I might not even video anything today. I'm literally just going to go for a bit of a wander. Now, I don't know what profession they actually were. I don't know if you can still see it. I've just passed a workman's van, obviously working on a local house. They're both sat at the back of the van having a bit of a natter, just sat on the pavement talking to each other. And it's an open back pickup, so I'd sort of look in as I went past to see what tools stuff they had. Essentially a roller carpet and 4 screwdrivers. So they're going to have a busy day. The weather today again is absolutely glorious. There's just a really nice breeze that just sort of takes the edge off the heat a little bit. So you can tell it's that little bit later in the year, but it's perfect for just walking. Just thought I'd sit and have a coffee. A little bit better than Costa, isn't it? Ashtray is Tesaki. Tesaki is ashtray. I think what I'll do, because the light's starting to change now and it's really nice and warm, I've had a bite to eat down in the village, not in the village, but at the bottom end of the road, and I'd like to get some nice photographs tonight of Koskina, because I'm not sure that it's somewhere that people really recognise. Not that it matters, it's me that's here, but yeah, so I think I'll do that. I'll go back to the apartment, have another shower, get myself looking bloody gorgeous, and just wander up into the village and have a pint and a bite to eat and walk around the back streets and see if I can get some nice photos. This is a lovely area. You'll have to excuse Stavros' grandfather's radio in the background, but I also wanted to take some time just to thank genuinely some of the people that I've met on this trip, because I haven't covered much of it. I think I've done it maybe in a different style this time. I'm hoping that when I put it together, it does look like it has the same sense of movement as before, but I was just really conscious about these rambles, so I didn't do any. But I do want to say some really specific thank yous. First of all, strangely enough, to the guy that was the National Express coach driver from Bournemouth to Gatwick. I don't know if I've got any of him on the video, but he was bloody hilarious. He's a terrific guy, and it was a really easy, comfortable trip. So, one moment.
Nah, sure.
Oh, fresh
Wait,
walnut.
Wait. I pick some more.
Do you cook these as well?
No, you eat.
Just yeah. I eat fresh, but
Sweets, my cakes, wait, let me get some.
well,
I eat for you, wait.
well, no, I would prefer a cake.
The cake.
That's Stavros' mum. There's another one on the list. Oh well, this will need re-editing after Stavros' mum has just given me a whole hoard of fresh walnuts. So I'll be cracking these while I'm eating. So who did I thank? The guy on the National Express coach. Stavros, very obviously, him and his family here have been terrific. It's not a luxury apartment, absolutely it's not. But for me, it's a great location. And every time that I've dropped him a line to say, actually my shower wasn't particularly hot this morning, or how do I turn the noise of the fridge off? Or 5 minutes and he's straight back and sorts it out. So these guys, absolutely a big thank you. But trying to do it in order, I suppose the Weissenstoll owner in Vienna, the guy that did the sausages, brilliant guy, great personality. The Australian guy whose name I didn't get at the hostel in Vienna was a really cool guy. He gave me a lot of insight into how to use the sort of dormitory type setup. So thanks to him. Istanbul, a very quick rundown of people. Mohammed, Athim, you were my heroes. The two guys that had the restaurant in, God, I can't even remember the name of the town that I was staying in now. I will, and I'll add it in as a thing underneath. They were both really, really good guys, and they genuinely helped with having a shave and going for a massage and really good food. I know it's their business, they have to be sort of polite to everybody, but they were genuinely really good guys. As far as travellers that I met there, Erasmus, I really felt for him. Beautiful guy, really, really nice guy. but he spoke Brazilian Portuguese and no other language. And so it was very, very difficult for him to communicate. The reception that he got when him and I walked around the town for that whole day, compared to the reception that I got when I was doing it by myself, was poles apart. So I really felt for him, but a lovely, lovely guy. Jeremy, if you see this, you know what you are. You're a really typical Australian out there traveling guy, and I really hope that you enjoy everything else that you do over the course of this year. Natasha, thanks for the 5-hour counselling session. Really enjoyed it. Please do what you need to do now and keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. I hope the path that you're taking is the one that gives you what you want. That sounds really patronising, doesn't it? But she'll know what I mean if she watches this. Axel, you gorgeous, gorgeous woman. Again, really, really independent lady. Gave me so much good company. We had some really good laughs around Rhodes, and I think your life will be far better for doing this trip than it was before. So to all of you guys, thank you so much for giving me company, and I hope that I added a little bit maybe to your journey while you were doing it. I want to finish these walnuts because this is all getting really sentimental, and these are really nice. Oh, Nazreen, if who I didn't thank, and she's brilliant, and Mr. Fat, I want to call him Mr. Fatty. It's not. It's Mr. Fateh. Pizza place just off the Blue Mosque. They have an Airbnb above the restaurant, and I had probably about an hour's worth of conversation with Nazreen about coming back and using the Airbnb. So we're on WhatsApp, and I will absolutely do it. Beautiful location, just don't be too expensive. I'll pay by WhatsApp, okay? I think probably the biggest thank you is to the police and customer service people and the locals in every country I've traveled through, not just this video, the one before. Thank you so much for supporting me with directions, recommendations, conversation. That has been the biggest contributor to everything that I've done. And to put one little downer on it, I can't imagine anybody turning up in Bournemouth tomorrow and asking the same questions of the locals that I've asked from these people and getting the same level of hospitality and support and guidance, which is a real shame. And that's not just one country, that's every single country I've gone through. The support from the local people has been incredible. And I can't see that happening in England, anywhere. Wow, that's a bit of a downer, wasn't it? True though. It's 5:15 now, so the sun's just starting to go down. I've got about another 10 minutes to wander until I get into the village. So I'm really hoping I can get some nice pictures this evening. And there's a little restaurant up there that helped me with my directions when I was lost up in the mountains, and it looked really nice. So I think that's probably where I'm going to have my tea, and an early night tonight, I think. Saying that, I know I'll end up just walking down the hill and carry on until I get to the Parrot Bar, but at least the intention's there. Just look at these gorgeous little places. and the view out of the back, which obviously I can't get to because it's their back garden, looks out over the whole of Rhodes. Want one? Really want one? Yeah, here we go. This is the view that they have from their back garden. God, I love this island.
Χοιρινό και κοτόπουλο.
So kirino is pork.
And κοτόπουλο.
Kodopolo
Chicken.
is chicken. Shall I show you what the Greek version of a McDonald's looks like? This is just a village grill house. Pork souvlaki, chicken souvlaki, tzatziki, chips, and pita bread. Yum. What an incredible meal. It's kind of the Greek version of one of our kebab houses, but nothing like it. That was €6 for a beer, chicken souvlaki, pork souvlaki, chips, pita bread, and tzatziki. And I've never had a souvlaki like that. Incredible. And that's in the centre of Koskino. I've taken the photograph. Oh, can you see the background, by the way? The sky is gorgeous tonight. So I was going to go home, but very obviously I'm going to keep walking, go down the Parrot Bar and say goodbye to the guys, because tomorrow's my last day. I've got to organise something with my clothes, so I need to ask them where there's a sort of children's charity shop or something, because there's a couple of bits and pieces that I've picked up on the way that I know I'll never wear again. So I'll bag those up and leave those for them tomorrow. And I'm going to say that I'm going to have a relaxing do-nothing day tomorrow, but it's just such a beautiful place to literally walk around. Can't do sunbeds. There's actually what looks like a good barber shop in the village. I don't know whether it's just whether they're calling it barber shop and it's a women's place, or whether they'll actually do me a sort of fresh shave and a bit of a freshen up before the flight home, because I look like Grizzly Adams by the time I get off the plane on Thursday if I don't do something. So Anaptira. Apomena means this is from me. Apomena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hey Pedro,
Petro Mafia. Petro Gangster.
you like some food? You like some food?
Ooh.
Good boy. Good boy. Hey? You're not going to eat all the back in one go, are you?
It's gangster.
Good boy.
What do you think the parrot is gangster?
Gangster?
Yeah.
Vicious.
Oh.
Well, I had a really, really good sleep last night and slept in stupidly. I mean, it's now 5 to 10 in the morning and I'm just showered and changed and ready to go out. But I think I've found out why. And you can either believe this or not, but the lady in the apartment upstairs who lives here said that at 5 o'clock in the morning this morning, we had an earthquake. So maybe it just rocked me back off to sleep. Yeah, I can't quite believe that. There's not going to be much to film today, really. I'm going to wait for this evening. So it's a bit of a grey morning, still really warm. So I'm going to walk up into the village, have my customary coffee and ham and cheese sandwich, and I'm just going to get a haircut and shave. I've managed to sort out a few items of clothing that I can leave down the bar for the young lad, so that my packing should be easier for tomorrow. I'm really going to try and get to, well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the bus into Rhodes, I suppose about 4 o'clock this afternoon, because I want to have a proper walk around there and try and catch that that evening light here, because that's been stunning. And also, I don't think it's a cruise day today. I think it'll be a quiet afternoon in town. I'm going to spoil myself to a nice evening meal tonight somewhere, and yeah, then start getting prepared tomorrow morning, ready for coming home. I'm about ready for it, to be honest. I've loved being here, but I get, I've got itchy feet again now. It's been 5 days here, so I'm ready for the flight home and start planning something again for next year. Well, these have definitely done well for the last couple of weeks. Again, for a do-nothing day, that's my activity rings 1.5 times round already. It's just after midday on what is essentially my last day, and I found another little beach, so I'm going to go and have a look. It's a really muggy day today. I've got a feeling we're going to get the sort of little shower of rain like we got yesterday lunchtime, but it feels really heavy today. I think if there's going to be a storm, then it's going to be today. So that's your weather report, all very dull. Yeah, it's a really grey day today. Still warm though, I'm still only stood in a t-shirt. So I'm just going to get the bus into Rhodes town, have a bit of a wander for a couple of hours, and then come back, I think, just to fill some time in. If it does clear up a bit, to be able to get some decent light this evening, then I might stay in Rhodes and do a bit of photography and stuff. But quite happy with today, really, just pootling about. Yeah, so I'll need to be aware of this tomorrow. This is going to be around the time that I'm going to be looking to get my airport coach, and yeah, there's a queue for the sort of ticket office and all that kind of malarkey. So don't understand why though, because you can just pay on the bus. So I might just make an inquiry as to the best stop to go back to tonight, and work it out from there, because I don't want to be stood in all that tomorrow. Oh, this is quite cool. This is the gate of St Paul entrance to the old town. Haven't done this bit before, and it's the bit right by the water. It is a stunning old city. Oh yeah, and the view coming out through the other archway is really, really nice. So I think in the evening this would look stunning. Yeah, it's much busier in the centre today, like kind of really busy. But again, a couple of left-hand turns and look where I am now. The little alleyway that I walked up a moment ago, which kind of got me away from all of the people, at the top of that alleyway, and it's behind the Wine Hotel in Old Rhodes Town, was a bar called Legends. And last night when I was in the town, the music, it was acoustic music, but the music that was coming out of there was absolutely terrific. It was just a little bit too late at night and I needed to get back home, but I'll see what it's like this evening, because I know it's 3:10 now, so I might just have a couple of hours here and go back, or I might just keep wandering these little alleyways. But yeah, absolutely nobody about once you come out of those main squares. It's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know why people don't do this. it's a great way of seeing the city. I'd imagine during the summer then, yeah, you know, all these places are going to be absolutely heaving, which is good for them. But at this time of year, because it's away from the absolute main centre, I'm still within the walls, still in the historic area, but there's no bugger about. This is great. Oh, somebody's underwear hanging up there. I'll go this way, I think. So it's my last night. I've absolutely loved it here. It's everything that I remember the island as being. People have been fabulous. The food has been incredible, and yeah, I'll miss this place again, but I'm going to come back a little bit more often, I think. So tonight, oh, and by the way, if you look at the weather, we've had lightning, thunder and rain today, and yet this is as bad as Rhodes ever looks. Still absolutely stunning. So I'm going to go up to my little grill house up in the village now. Just come away from the Parrot Bar. Had one when I got off the bus. Get myself changed and freshened up, I think. And as it's my last night, there may be no more video this evening, because I might not even be able to hit the button. I'm going to have just a nice night with the guys down at the bar, and yeah, goodbye Rhodes. By the way, it's still nearly 24 degrees even with skies like this. Okay, so my favourite, dolmadas, vine leaves, tzatziki, what they call rustic bread. But the amount of bloody dolmadas they've given me is ridiculous. I've got pork steak to come yet. Tzatziki, bread. This is kind of the posher version of where I ate last night. It's next door because the kebab house is shut. But I'm going to really enjoy this. Yeah, that's a very posh version of dolmadas. That's really, really nice. I know this is a bit ugly, showing a half-eaten meal, but I'm hoping that you can see exactly how bloody good this is. Just an incredible plate of food. Well, I know I've probably said it on several occasions on this video, but my God, what a meal. That was superb. I've never seen a pork steak like it. It was like a T-bone. A whole bowl full of dolmadas. The rice was terrific. The bread was incredible. The tzatziki was so fresh. Yeah, really, really enjoyed that. And that was Polonius. Either Polonius or Polionis. I'll put a link in when I do the whole recommendation-y thing at the end of each video. It's kind of, it looks like it's the posh restaurant in Koskino, but even then the price, I mean, for that meal that I've just had, it was, I spoilt myself a little bit. I mean, it was 30 euros in total, and that included a beer and a coffee. They gave me like a free dessert thing, so it's not cheap, but when you consider the amount that I had, I could have quite happily walked away from there and eaten half of what they gave me. Beautiful. And I'm going to try now and get a video of the most polite lightning storm you've seen in your life. There's no noise, but the sky just keeps lighting up. And once I get away from the street lights here, I might be able to get a little bit of a decent view of it. I might get a few decent images. the last morning, and Max, apologies, but I've got to stuff all this inside you, and then, although this is the end of the, I suppose, big adventure, today is one of the biggest slogs of the whole trip, really. I've got plenty of time to myself this morning, and then need to make my way to the airport for about 4:30, 5 o'clock this afternoon. Once I get there, it's a flight into Athens, 2 hours layover in Athens, which is kind of nothing. Then from Athens, the flight into Bournemouth gets me in for midnight. And so from there, it's a National Express coach trip to home, which I suppose, or to Bournemouth at least, which will get me in for about 5 o'clock, 5:30. And then it's just another, I suppose, 45 minutes home. But it does mean that it's going to be a 24-hour day. Sky's quite welcoming this morning though. And looking forward to my last couple of hours of just relaxing, coffee, sandwich, pint somewhere at lunchtime I expect, and then off to the airport. It's been a great trip. Very different to the last one, but it has been great. Well, one thing hasn't changed from the last trip. Guess what happens when I get back to England? Flying into Gatwick and no bloody transport from Gatwick to either Southampton, Ringwood or Bournemouth until 20 to 6 in the morning. That's a whole 5 hours in the airport. So I'm going to try and suss something out when I get there. I think the only thing that I really can do is go to the coach station and jump on any bus at all that's going vaguely in the right direction. You know, even if it's, I don't know, Reading, Basingstoke, Brighton, anywhere, so that I can then jump on a train connection to get home. Because I'd much rather be moving than just keeping on a bench in the airport. Bloody ridiculous, England, again. Right, this is exactly how the last video ended, and I'm sure that any others that I do, it's likely to be the same. Didn't even think of planning that. If a flight's landing, why the hell haven't you got a bus? So first things first, let's get out of Rhodes and then follow me as we experience the delight that is the English transport network. So I've arrived in Rhodes Airport, but it's one of those ones that literally as soon as you go in through the door from outside to inside, you go straight into a security area. So I'm not sure what facilities they've got inside. I don't want to be trapped in there, particularly once I've gone through that first bit. So I might do a little bit of an explore of it. But my flight is to Athens at, yep, I can see it on the board, 7:10. And yeah, all seems to be on time. Just got to give myself a couple of minutes to sit somewhere and work out what I'm going to do the other end, because it might even be that if I just get a really short taxi ride into somewhere like Crawley or wherever, that I can just jump on a train, because when I get the other side, I just want to get bloody home. So in Rhodes Airport, in the sweatbox that is the departure lounge. It's okay though. I think I've got like 50 minutes until the gate opens, and it's only a 1 hour flight to arrive in Athens. I've got that 2 hour turnaround there, which means I'll get outside for a good sort of 40 minutes or so and get some air. And then it's a 4 hour flight to Gatwick. And I think that whole thing is going to be worth filming just in itself. Oh, well, that was a race and a half. Just made it with 5 minutes to spare. I'll update later. Well, as it's quiet, I might as well do the final update. Still sat in Gatwick at the moment. I've got another hour to wait before my coach arrives, which, by the way, doesn't go straight home. It goes from here to Heathrow, and then I've got an hour's worth of wait to get on it again from Heathrow to Bournemouth. So I've been in Gatwick now since midnight, and it's now 4:45 in the morning. So I can safely say I'm absolutely bushed. It's been a fabulous 2 weeks, really good 2 weeks. Coming home always puts a bit of a downer on it with the way that everything works over here, but enough of that grumping, it's all part of the experience, isn't it? So yeah, should be home for about 10:30 this morning. Probably won't go off to Kip or anything, because I'm hoping I'll get sort of 3 hours worth of Kip on the coach, and then sit and put some kind of movie together. Just been a fabulous adventure, and start planning for next year, I suppose. All done. It's 4:45 in the morning, and I am now going to have a pint. Happy Friday. Cheers. It's been a really good time. Okay, so just arrived, or just been dropped off at Heathrow from Gatwick. I've got just under an hour to wait to get the 7:35 through to Bournemouth. That's due to get me into Bournemouth for about 9:30, and then in the true spirit of the whole adventure, really, I'll walk the last few miles to home. So that's probably going to be, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half to walk home, and that's the end of it. Feel truly buggered, and actually I think that's the way I'm supposed to feel. It would have been too easy otherwise. This last 26 hours has been, it hasn't been hard work, it's just been a lot of hanging around and a lot of hours of doing nothing. So I think I'd probably, well, I know that I'd plan that side of things a bit better next time. Totally my fault, absolutely my fault. The situation at the airport in Athens really sort of flung everything on its head, because it's the first time that I've actually had I suppose a transfer or a very short layover between flights when I've been booking them, and I was just a total idiot. I checked in on the first flight, and then I didn't see that you had to scroll across to also check in on the flight that was going out. And then by the time I actually noticed that I hadn't done that, I'd fallen outside of the 3 hour tolerance that you've got. You've got to check in more than 3 hours before your flight on trip.com. So it meant that I had to go through the whole check-in process with my luggage, and I managed to get on the flight literally 10 minutes before it was due to go. It wasn't just me, I mean, that was myself along with several other people that had exactly the same problem, and all being charged bloody 40 quid for the privilege, when they had all of our details and everything on the system in front of them, but they would not print off the boarding cards. You had to pay, or you had to go to a different kiosk, pay, and then come back for them to produce the boarding card, which was a total nonsense, particularly when they knew that the flight was due to go within the hour. But I will remember that for the future, is that if I've got a very short layover and self-transfer, to absolutely make sure that I've checked in on both of those flights. You live and learn. But yeah, that threw the day into a bit of a spiral, really, and then to be running from everywhere to then arrive in Gatwick and have to just sit for 5 hours was an absolutely pointless exercise. So it's my fault, you know, it's my lack of planning that bit, really. I just expected to be able to jump off the plane like in any other airport in any other country and jump straight on a coach. But no, doesn't happen. But God, yeah, couple of hours, well, an hour's worth of wait now, couple of hours into Bournemouth, and an hour and a half's worth of walk. I'll be home for about 11 o'clock. And so this is it, the final leg after 27 hours of no sleep. Got about 4.5 miles to walk back home, and the adventure is complete for another year.
So you think you can tell heaven from hell?